wax. Okay, today we're going to make some fangs. We're going to take the teeth cast that we made of our teeth and we're going to do some fangs, and we're going to do them on the canines here only. These are going to be special teeth just designed for this individual. So first of all, what I like to do is I like to clean the teeth off a little bit. There's some plaster buildup between the teeth, so I take my little sharp tool I have here and I just go through and I clean them up. And also what I like to do after I've cleaned them up is I like to go through and also take this little fine edge here, this little gum line here, and I like to take my tool in there and I like to dig it a little bit deeper because I want that fang to just go right up to the gum line. So if you have any air bubbles in this area right here, I recommend cleaning them off really well and digging it out is just ever so slightly. And also on this side here, just see it. I see that I have really good returns right here on my teeth, so I'm going to leave them like they are. But if you see that it's very shallow, dig it out a little bit with your sharp dental tool. All right. First step I do with all my teeth is I seal them, and I just use Vaseline. And I usually put a nice generous film on it. I don't want any buildups anywhere. If you have any buildups, wipe it away with your brush. Now that your teeth are coated with Vaseline, now we can start sculpting. You're going to do 2 teeth only, and we're also going to be putting a little tiny piece of clay going across here so it kind of grabs onto the next tooth. Remember, the clay is going to be the acrylic that we're using, the dental acrylic. So we're going to take the teeth and we're going to build them up to a fang, and then we're going to take a little piece and grab the back. We're also going to make another one where you have a retainer going across here. So we're going to do 2 types of teeth because sometimes people don't have a lot, like little children, or if you're doing people with teeth that don't have a lot of grab, you know, to grab around other things. Retainers are nice, and some people prefer retainers because they are able to keep the teeth in with their tongue. So first of all, I take a little tiny bit of clay and I just start pressing it on, and then I'm going to sculpt it over it. So press the clay on just like that, and I go onto the gums, you know, just for right now, and I go to the back of the tooth just like that. Very basic, crude looking teeth right now because I'm going to sculpt. I'm not shaping it right at this minute. I'm just applying the clay right now. So like I did, I press it on the tooth, overlap a little bit because I'm just being generous with my clay. Okay, now we're going to begin sculpting. I'm going to take these right down to where the gum line is. We're going to sculpt these kind of quick. I got my clay here that I can touch my clay onto that I scrape off the teeth so I can keep my sculpting tool clean. And you just keep going. We're going to take this down quite a bit. In a little while, we'll add the grip to the back of this tooth, but right now I'm just sculpting. You can see I hit the tooth there, so I'm just going to add some clay. And add some clay and keep sculpting. And like I say, I'm going to knock these teeth down quite a bit. Okay, that one is pretty close to where I like it. Now I'm going to go ahead and attack this tooth. And I'm taking some clay off just because I know I have too much. Okay, now that I have a basic rough out of my teeth, I'm going to add that little clay piece in the back. So I just put a little piece of clay right there, just like that, on both sides. And then you take your sculpting tool and you just blend it into your teeth and clean it up. This piece doesn't have to be very big. I'm also going to take my dremel tool and I'll round it up and clean it up when I cast them in acrylic. Now I'm going to work on the shape of the teeth. I like the teeth curving in a little bit when you're looking at them, and if you're looking sideways, I like them going back a little bit. This is a good exaggeration of that. You have the tooth kind of curving in right here. That tooth is curving in, but then when you look at it forward, it's got that nice canine dog look to it. This is one style. There are many styles of teeth, you know, like these are just more basic pointed, you know. So you just have to look at the kind of tooth you want to make. And some people even add another little fang right here, and you can do that. You can add 2 fangs. Just grab them together in the back. But so what we're going to do is we're going to curve it in like this, and if you look backwards on it, it has a nice curve going back too. So it looks very menacing and a very pretty tooth. So that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to take these teeth now and we're going to start curving them. And one thing that I've noticed is when I'm curving them this way, it also helps to dig out this part right here, because that actually adds to the curve and gives it a nice feel. See, you can already see it happening. So keep going. And don't worry about all your, you know, clay marks, your lines in it from your sculpting tool, because we'll smooth these teeth out later. Right now, we are just building a tooth anatomically, we're just building an anatomically correct tooth. If it's just a straight post with a point, it doesn't look very real. You want to give it that canine kind of look to it. And then you can take your finger and you can actually bend it a little bit too. And then if I look sideways now, I want this to go back. So I want to actually dig this out a little bit. Like that. So when you look sideways at it, it has a nice look to it also. And I'll just take and bend it this way because I want that look. And like I say, you don't have to have that look. That's just how I like to make my teeth. See how that has a nice curve to it there? And then if you look sideways at it, it starts to have that same look. And you just have to play with it until you get the kind of look you want. Nice curve, nice curve. So that has a nice anatomical feel to it. Still looks a little fat, and I will take down more inside here so you don't see that extra clay in here. Remember, you're creating an illusion here that these teeth are not on the teeth but part of their teeth. So you want to try and get away from anything showing in the back. I mean, it's going to show, you know, depending on the camera angle, but you're going to try your best to make those teeth look very natural. So that has a nice curve to it. And I'm still going to pull some of this back off because I notice it's still kind of full back here. Now we're going to go ahead and work on this tooth. Also, you know what? I haven't done anything with the gum line yet, which is okay. I'll do the gum lines together. It's the most critical part, the gum line. So I like to do them together, and then that part's done, and then I can cast these in alginate. So right now, we're going to start on this tooth to make it look like this one. Okay, now that we have the teeth fairly well sculpted out, they look pretty good. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually work on this gum line here now to try and get it as close as we can to the original teeth. Overlap a little bit. It's just a more preference. Some people like to stop right at the gum line. Some people like to go over just a little bit. So I am just taking down this to feather it in. Okay, I am about ready to put naphtha on this and smooth these teeth out. Now, depending on the teeth you have, you may want lines in them, you know, because some people have lines in their teeth, you know, the little indentations and slight little crevices. So you have to think about that when you're making these, is do they match the actor's teeth? You want them to match their look. Now I'm going to take some naphtha and go over these teeth ever so slightly, just a little bit, just to kind of smooth them out. The naphtha dissolves the teeth. I am actually wearing safety glasses and I'm in a very well ventilated room. So that's one of the things you need if you're using naphtha. I'm also doing the back side, smoothing them out. So there are my fangs ready to fine tune. I notice I have a piece of the tooth showing right there. So I'm going to grab a little bit of my clay and I'm going to kind of take that away a little bit. I'm going to cover that up right there. Like that. You got to be so careful because the teeth coming through. If it's super fine, it's going to be brittle. So you have to think about that too when you make fangs. Is, you know, you don't want them too thin because that's a weak point. Now I got my fine brush, a little more naphtha, and I'm going to now smooth those teeth out. My teeth have a slight little lines in it, I see, and I'm okay with that because I like that look. If they're too smooth, they're not going to look as real unless it's your actors has, you know, perfect teeth, you know, then you can go that route. And I'm going to clean these up a little bit in here just because I want them to look nice and finished. And like I say, I'm going to also take a dremel tool and clean them up even more. So our teeth are about ready to cast. I like the look, I like the angle. Side view is beautiful, nice looking canines. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my naphtha and I'm going to clean all the clay up around the edges of the plaster. And then once we do that, then we'll be ready to cast. Now that the clay is fairly well cleaned off, go ahead and touch up your teeth, your clay teeth, if you've nicked them or anything, just to make sure they are looking like you like them. We need to seal these teeth with Vaseline all over, even the inside here and everywhere, because now we're going to cast these in alginate, just like we did for the zombie teeth. So go ahead and coat your teeth with Vaseline.